No! Stop. 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 No, 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 no. Don't do it. Just don't. No. Like, for real. Don't do it. I see you. You're trying to do it. I won't let you. I will not let you fuck over Death Note again. I will not allow this tomfoolery. Even as a tomfoolery fan myself. We do a bit of tomfoolery. So the Duffer Brothers, mostly known for their work on the hit Netflix series Stranger Things, are planning to work with Netflix to make a new Death Note live-action adaptation. Well, more correctly, have their new production company Upside Down Pictures work on the adaptation. Because I don't know if it's them or the company, probably different producers at that company. But since all I know is that the Duffer Brothers have the company and we don't know anything else yet, I'm just gonna say it's the Duffer Brothers' fault either way for this creation. So let's just keep going. Now, as far as the Duffer Brothers go, I'm not too familiar with their work. I haven't seen any of their films, although I did watch like half of Stranger Things Season 1, and even though I dropped it because I wasn't too into it, it seemed to have some interesting ideas, and I did really like the fact that they were inspired by the anime Elfen Lied when it came to the character 11. Quick side note, I love Elfen Lied to death purely off of the like 5 or so times I watched and read it in my freshman year of high school, and I'm scared to rewatch it because I fear that the story won't hit the same, or reread it for that matter, because it was also, I think it was the first manga I read, not including Pokemon Adventures, as like a 9 or 10-year-old, because I didn't know that was a manga at the time. Also a random side note. But could this be a video idea? Elfen Lied. Is it still good? Shit. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. Even if the Duffer Bros, according to many fans of their work, are great visionists when it comes to their stories, I have my doubts on whether we need this at all. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not completely anti-anime live action. I think there are great examples out there that they can be done well, and even if they change some aspects of the story to fit the style of live action storytelling, as long as they still stick to the core themes and values of what they're adapting. Rurouni Kenshin, Battle Angel Alita, and even the original Japanese live action Death Note come to mind. My only real issues with live action anime lie with creators ignoring the source material almost completely and making these adaptations really an adaptation in name only. Another slightly rantish issue that doesn't only apply to anime but animation as a whole is when consumers dismiss it as a valid form of storytelling, saying it's invalid. Not necessarily in those words, but not watching it because it's for kids, you know? For example, I saw online people wanting to see the exploration of Clone Wars scenes being redone in Obi-Wan, like literal scenes that we've already seen in Clone Wars. But from my point of view, since Clone Wars is already canon and was done well, it's not like it was animation that was done bad. It was animation that was done well, so that's not the complaint. Why the hell do we need to redo parts of it in Obi-Wan when you can use Obi-Wan to tell a new part of the story? I also remember tons of people not watching Spider-Verse when it's, in my opinion, the perfect comic book movie. And if you love the rest of the Spider-Man movies, I don't see why you wouldn't love Spider-Verse unless you hate animation. And I'm also not saying that it's invalid to dislike animation as a form of storytelling. I'm just saying that it is a valid form of storytelling. Whether it's your favorite or not is purely up to your preferences. It's just like whether you prefer reading a book or, you know, a manga or the comic or a movie, you know, just random shit like that, or a video game. It's just preferences at the end of the day. But all of what I just said are all valid forms of storytelling. Even stage plays, those are also valid forms of storytelling, but I know a lot of people that aren't going to watch a stage play just because it's not their cup of tea, which I do get, but at least in the animation sense, it's a lot closer to a movie or a live action show. It's just that it's animated. It's not like a musical or a stage play where it's very greatly different in the way that they approach things. I get it, animation is not close to the same, but in terms of like what you see, it's similar, if that makes sense. Like a similar format of like, you're watching this on the TV and it's a story and it has, I don't know. I hope you get what I mean. That was a really weird explanation. I probably should have wrote that part in the script. Whatever. So yeah, I do half agree with the rhetoric that not everything needs to get live action adaptations. But on the other hand, I do feel that when done right, and you can tell that the creator's heart is in the right place, then it's not too bad. But when it comes to Death Note, I really don't think we need one at this point, seeing as the Japanese version was great and even had an interesting twist, so it was worth watching even if you have seen the anime or read the manga. Major Death Note Japanese spoilers ahead for the second movie. Skip to this time to not see them. See you in a minute. For the spoiler people or the people that have already seen the movie, here we go. So the live action Japanese Death Note ends with the second movie, where basically at this point in the story, Light had just gotten Rem to kill both L and Watari, as Misa would have been arrested otherwise. So, Rem writes their names in and dies shortly after, due to, her protecting humans, which is bad. If you're a Shinigami. After this, Light writes his dad's name in the note because the police are still hunting for Kira, which is bad for Kira. Except his dad doesn't die, and the police surround Light at gunpoint. This is when L reveals that he already wrote his name in the Death Note a month ago. So L was still going to die, but it would be at a later date, and therefore Light or Kira couldn't kill him in this moment anyways. At this point, they had also pointed out Light had a decoy note, and that the task force witnessed his confession to kill his dad. At this point, Light's freaking out. He's like, damn. He starts pleading Ryuk to kill them. Ryuk says, hell nah, and kills Light instead. Light dies in his father's arms, and it's actually pretty touchingly sad because he's all begging him to believe his actions were for good and justice and shit. L dies 20, not years, what the fuck script? L dies 20 days later, and the world thinks that Kira killed Light and then himself. So it's pretty crazy. Pretty much L big brains Light, and he wins all without having to do the whole, Nier and them won, L won. It was pretty cool. Because, despite your thoughts on Nier and Mello and all that shit, I don't think they're that bad. It is kind of cool to see both L and Light lose. Well, not lose, but both of them die. But L won in the end, which is kind of crazy. Because in the original Death Note, L wins anyways. Even if you think he didn't, he won because his successors won. So in this case, he wins. It's just at a different point in the story and with a pretty big brain plan that was pretty dope. Also, there's a spin-off film of L solving one last case within those 20 days before he dies after killing Kira, my fault. See, this is what I mean. Here's a cool way to adapt an already great series and giving people a reason to watch it all while writing the characters in ways that would still be plausible for the original work. Oh yeah, also spoilers are gone now. You guys are cool. So long story short, you guys can see why I think we don't need a new Death Note live action, and why I think the Duffer Bros would probably be better off trying to adapt a different series. If they do end up making something great, then fair play. Whether it be their own spin on it, which I assume they would do, or just a straight up adaptation of the original. Because even though I did say what I did earlier about the Clone Wars thing, that mostly applies to shared universes when it comes to me not liking it. I think when it comes to anime or manga, it could be cool to see good live actions even if they do follow panel to panel. I know, I'm a hypocrite on this stance. Maybe it's because in anime or manga, in most cases, it's not an expanding story. It's a point A to point B story with spin-offs or sequels every now and then, but it's very limited. And normally they have one writer. I don't know, man. It's just different somehow, I swear. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to talk about. I know I don't want this project to happen. I think I made that pretty clear in this video. But since it will happen, I pray for the studio and the Duffer Brothers' sake that the adaptation is good. Because if that shit is ass, I'm gonna let y'all know. And the internet will let everyone know. So yeah. So what are your thoughts on this live action Death Note trend returning? Do you want it to happen? Do you not want it to happen? Should live action anime not exist anymore? I don't fucking know. Should they keep going? Should this be a thing? Should we just start adapting manga instead of letting anime happen? Just make the live actions first. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications. All that cool shit, and I'ma fuck with y'all. Peace. Bye.